Yeah, everyone. This is Thermite, and this is Until Your Bones Rot, Volume 5. On here we have, I think, Tsubaki. So, like, if you look back at Volume 3, yeah, like, this is supposed to be Tsubaki, as far as I can tell. And she has, like, this, not black hair, but this very, like, bluish hair. So that's consistent. Got Tsubaki, and strangely enough, again, like, going through all the others, if you look at each one, it's always the skull. It's always Shintaro's father's skull. But now, for Volume 5, it's the hands. This is worrisome. You see, Tsubaki is. The main problem is that I think Shintaro and Tsubaki have a fairly healthy potential relationship out there. But Haruka is currently blackmailing Shintaro into having sex with her. And I'm very worried for what this entails. Like, is Shintaro going to die? Shintaro's the main character, but this is a series where I genuinely believe the main character could die. There's also just the fact that it's not the skull anymore. Like, what is happening here? We do know that, like, they have the skull. Does this mean that they'll get the hand back, perhaps? Though, just with the symbolism here, I feel like it's going to be Shintaro dies or someone close to Haruka, or Tsubaki dies. We don't know really anyone else in Tsubaki's family, though. Like, it's Haruka's sister who is the who's working with the police. As far as I recall, I don't think we know anyone on Tsubaki's side. I'm very scared for her now. Very scared. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Haruka's in his bed. Or just waiting for him, I guess. I guess, like, she must have just gotten dressed. It's cute outfits. Aww. It seems like Shintaro doesn't do much cleaning. Can she tell? Like, can she tell that they had sex on the bed? I was just thinking about how we're all here chilling at Shin's house right now, even though this really isn't the time. What is he thinking of? Like, they do know that whoever's blackmailing them knows about the scar. So, would there be like a record, perhaps? Also, I really like this concept of him like walking around the corner and seeing them, like seeing his past. Haruka, that looks awful. Wait a minute. Could it be her then? Huh. Because as far as we know, like, no one else knows about the scar. She's always been hiding it. It's just her friends, and then we never saw this scene before, so could it be this girl? Miss Minami, right, the one who saw it. I heard about right, also, I cannot believe we're on chapter 60 already. That is nuts to me. Like, these are very short chapters, but they don't feel short to me, honestly. And also, they don't really feel like chapters in the traditional sense. I'm gonna have to see if this was like a weekly series or if it was like released in some other format, because I really like it. I love how short the chapters are and how well they flow together as a volume. Does Mr. Kitahama still work here? Mr. Kitahama? Okay. That would make more sense, because they're pretty sure that the person on the phone was a guy. Yeah, you look terrible. I'm glad that she was able to pick up on that. Like, whether or not she's involved with this whole conspiracy, I do like that at the very least, like, she is a teacher. She's perceptive enough to know that, hey, you don't look good. If I don't do something, I feel like I'll lose my mind. I really like the way that these shots are drawn. Like, he feels so much like a kid while also feeling so, like, not zombie-esque, but, like, it feels like he's dead inside. That's very hard to do with just a drawing of a person. It requires a lot of, like, bendy lines, as strange as that sounds, in order to make someone feel like they're off balance without just, like, it's hard to put it. Like, this is a very easy shot to make it look like he's, off kilter. But this is, I feel, a bit harder. I guess because we have the Dutch angle there, it's easier. This one, I mean, I guess this mostly looks like he's off kilter because of the context. If it was just this without any other context, I probably wouldn't have that opinion. But still, like, the way the series manages to get across emotion is really well done, especially when it's the more subtle emotions as opposed to, like, the mind-breaky ones. The unsaved will burn in eternal damnation. She knows. She absolutely knows. Haruka's just saying it for her own benefit, but Tsubaki 100% knows what happens. Oh, hey, his mom. We haven't seen her in a while. You know your mother loves this pudding. Aww. Please, Shintaro, take care of your dad. And that's why he didn't want to run away. Oh, this is terrible. Because we know one of the reasons why his dad abused him, or like one of the justifications for it. I'm not going to say one of the reasons was because his dad was dead, or his mom was dead, and he was like, "You're gonna have to fill in for her." I took Haruka's virginity. Okay. Honestly, like, this is a real bolt out of the blue, but I do think it's fine that he's explaining this. Like, as long as he doesn't leave it at that, as long as he, like, talks about this, and he doesn't, like, leave it as a misunderstanding, this should be okay. Also, that, like, I love the fact that Ryu used to do, like, he used to bleach his hair. It makes him look so different, but now that we've seen him both ways, it's so easy to tell, like, okay, this is the past, this is now. You just maybe not actually want him dead? Nope, not true, not true. He regrets getting you all involved. She said if I didn't, she would turn herself in. As she was crying, yeah, that's right. As she was crying, as she was like, that parallel hurts so much to read. It must have, like, now that it's dawning on him, like, in universe, that must be shattering his heart. Yeah, Ryu's such a good guy. He really is. Suppose right now I decided to turn myself in. What would you do? Everything I've done since then has been a crime. Right. I can honestly appreciate this. The idea that because he was such a piece of garbage, they're like, okay, fair enough. In my eyes, I don't consider that to be a crime. And up to this point, he was able to justify everything else by saying, well, it's all for the sake of that. But now he can't do it anymore. It's all snapping. He's still able to say that one thing we did, that wasn't a crime. Everything else, though, it's been a crime. I guess people really shouldn't kill other people after all. I do really like that they are, like, talking about the concept of turning themselves in. Like, at this point, like, they're only digging themselves deeper and deeper. It makes a lot of sense to try, but at the same time, now that they've explained it properly, I can see why they wouldn't want to. Like, for Tsubaki's sake, if for no one else's. Mr. Fuji, he could be a red herring, but I severely doubt it. I am certain he's the killer. Like, I am 100% certain at this point. Although it's so weird that we haven't gotten any more of him for, like, the longest time. Like, entire last volume didn't have him in it. I think that, that kind of means that we've seen Shintaro sleeping with every single character in the cast except for Akira. Like, in one way or another. Oh? Okay, what could it be? I cannot think of a motivation, but obviously it's supposed to be a mystery. Because in this strange way, it does feel like the telephone caller is punishing them, but that's all I could think of, is that he's going to admit that it's a punishment because whoever it is that, the blackmailer is doing something much worse, perhaps. And so it's like, well, we have to admit to our crimes because we need to make him admit to his, perhaps? That seems a bit too simple for the series, though. I want to have some girl talk. Damn, okay, she came right out and said it. Shintaro fucked me. Like, see, I can't take this as okay, though, because she's been so weird and malicious up to this point. So I feel like she's doing it to try and hurt Tsubaki. But I hope she doesn't take it that way. God damn. I know you really want to say something else. Oh, is Haruka doing this because she's conflicted about it? Like, does she want Tsubaki to get pissed off and punch her in the face because it'll make her feel better? That's what I'm thinking now. Think you're some tragic heroine now? Feel the same way about you. I've always hated you too. Oh, man. Tsubaki is such a smart girl. Like, she understands. She understands. Fucking someone does not mean you have emotions for them. In the same way, having emotions for someone doesn't mean you want to have sex with them. Like, it goes both ways. I've had sex with him too. I'm the first girl he ever slept with. Sorry, does that hurt? But it's only the truth. Yeah, he's the one in the wrong here. He slept with you despite not liking you at all that way. Yeah, I mean, he isn't. He was coerced into doing it, but still. I guess I can live with that for the sake of Tsubaki, like, calming the fuck down. Or, I mean, not Tsubaki, Haruka calming the fuck down. That's coercion. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really interesting line. If we knew, I suspect there would no longer be love left in this world. They really did bond. That's kind of great. Like, I really love this. I love that, like, we were building up to this boiling point of misunderstandings and horrible things happening, and we had, like, 2 chapters of just the boys talking things out and then the girls talking things out. And now all they have to do is, like, you know, communicate with each other, and we'll have no, like, weird secrets between everyone, which I think is important. Like, I cannot imagine that we'll get to the, like, I can't imagine we'll get a, like, good ending unless our group is, like, you know, all in cahoots, unless they all understand each other. And I think if they don't all understand Akira as well, they can't get a happy ending. The only way this will work is if they all accept one another, including, like, accepting whatever the fuck Akira was doing. Because of the fact that they were all friends, I can't imagine that he was doing something really scummy. I could be wrong, but I feel like he was doing something noble at some point. And once they accept it, they'll say, like, hey, you know, what you wanted to do didn't work out, but we're not going to hold it against your memory. You know, you're still one of us. Yeah, especially after the whole thing in the bushes. Like, in most other series, I would say, like, oh, this is kind of misogynistic. You should let the girls come along. But after that scene where they were almost raped, and these two could do nothing to help them, like, yeah, I could see how all parties involved would be like, yeah, let's not take the girls along. Okay, if anything happens to us, go straight to the police. All right, you have to come back safe. That's all there is to it. A couple times. Is the teacher related to him, then? Because we had that whole thing about how the caller felt a lot like his dad. There has to be something there, right? If wishing to bring us back, I've gone back ages ago, but we can't go back, so we have to go forward. We have to go forward. Yeah, there's no way, though. There's no way this is the ending. Or there's no way things are going to work out that nicely. In fact, because of the way he's playing things out, I feel like he's going to entrap them. Somehow. The guys didn't bring gloves. Oh, no, they did. They did. Okay, never mind. Okay, thank goodness. You are Kitahama, right? Why are you dead? And he's not rotting or anything, so he had to have killed himself very recently. I mean, there is dust everywhere, but at the same time, like, because his body isn't rotting, and because the series has been very realistic when it comes to, like, dead bodies, like, yeah, 2 or 3 days, that's doable. Especially if it's, like, what? Is this the summer? I don't think so. If it's not super hot, then that would also slow down his rate of decomposition. Also, we didn't make it. So he never thought that Kitahara was the killer. He thought that he was just someone else who the killer was going to attack. Right. Okay. Oh, that's really... See, I don't know if he's lying to you or not. I don't think he is. But yeah, that does make sense. Not particularly... See, because of these lines, I feel like it's got to be something there, like he abused her or something. But because they opened up over this, I can't imagine that she would have lied again. I don't want to hope that, at least. Yep, that's the corpse disassembly instructions. Okay. Either he was the killer, or he was at least part of the killer's plans, because I guess he could have been the killer and then he killed himself here. An old photo of Haruka. Yeah, it's more of a creeper pic. Clearly she wasn't aware that this picture was taken. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, what a vile piece of shit. Oh. Okay, none. I can sleep at night now. But still, Haruka reacted. So, like, he was abusing girls, but he didn't abuse Haruka. Maybe? Huh. I don't want to leave in a place like this. Okay, they're gonna take it. Yeah, it really does feel nasty. Let's take it. Alright, to be continued in Volume 6. Huh. Okay. Summer Festival 1 year before the events of the manga begin. Okay, so we're seeing the previous ceremony, I guess. Okay. Also, this was in Weekly Shonen Magazine? Like, I don't remember them running, like, really dark stuff like this before. Though, to be fair, I don't know that much about what they've run ever. Okay, so it was serialized in Manga Box, which I've seen a bunch of other things from. Yeah, okay. So I guess they did like it was serialized in Manga Box, but then they put out a extra for it in Weekly Shonen Magazine. So I guess this isn't going to be too gory or anything because it's in Weekly Shonen Magazine. I got poop stuck in my ass. Akira, please. Aw. Nope, Haruka's definitely become a woman. So goofy. Today, 4 years ago, we killed someone. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say last time they mentioned that that was the first year where it looked like a full skeleton, where there wasn't any flesh at all. So okay, so there is some flesh. It's hard to kind of see it. Fair enough. This man was meant to die. We will take the secret to our graves, and we will all return next year. I want to meet up. Right. Part of it is like their ceremony of affirming that they'll always be together till the end. But I guess it's also just like, hey, they're bonding. If you like me that much, you're all free to buy me something. Okay, that was really good. Like, it's not very satisfying as like a one shot or as like a thing that was like, the only thing you'd ever see in the series running in that magazine, but it was decent enough. I like it. Like, it gives off a good feeling for like the appeal of the series early on before it gets into like the real horror of it. It's definitely something where like if I read this, I'd be interested in like reading the next chapter. If someone presented this to me as like chapter 0, I'd be like, okay, I'll check out chapter 1. Though I think this would actually make chapter 1 worse, because part of the like appeal of chapter 1 is the whole like bone ceremony thing. It'd be less novel if you could see it like here. We're 5 volumes in, we're now getting the cast profiles. That's so weird. Not bad though. Ryunimaido Akira Kanzaki. I'm honestly really surprised that I've continuously managed to remember everyone's names. Though to be fair, it's only 5 people. It's 5 people and then like a very minor cast that I barely remember the names of. So I guess it's not that impressive. So that was Until Your Bones Rot, Volume 5. Really, like, I don't know if I want to say it's the best volume. Probably not. But it had a lot of like interpersonal stuff that I really liked. Like, we got more backstory. We got like the identity of the cell phone killer, probably. It's possible that it's not the real killer, but I think it might be. Or like his plane was then hijacked by someone else. Especially since it doesn't seem like he was an innocent party or anything. He was definitely a weird creeper who took creep shots of children. I guess the main focus of this though, like even though that was a big deal, the real main focus of this volume was the 2 conversations with the boys and the girls, in which we finally got out the whole yes, these are the people Shintaro has had sex with. Let's let it all out. This is what happens. I am so happy this happens. I mean, I guess Haruka probably was lying about not being abused, which is annoying because I felt like we finally got rid of all the secrets, but we do have a few more volumes, right? I don't think next volume is the last volume, so we still have a few more to go. And in that time, I guess we can finally clear things up. I do really genuinely think that if the series has a positive end, it's going to be because all 5 of the kids, including Akira, are all they all understand each other at the very end. Like, all the surviving kids understand each other, they're still friends, and they all understand what Akira is trying to do, even if his intents were perverted. Or, not perverted. If his intent was, warped. I don't want to say perverted in the context of the series. Apart from that, not much else to say. I still don't really like Haruka. Really don't. But I understand her a lot more now. Especially since, she really is a miserable character. And, I don't want to say that being potentially abused is also going to, make it more understandable, but that might be that little bit of information, the idea that she might have been abused, combined with all of her other bizarre actions. I think I finally have a grasp on her character and, how she's been wounded. And because of that, I can understand her. She's still my least favorite out of the main cast. But she's getting up there. I'm slowly beginning to like her. And that is clearly what the mangaka is trying to do. So it's not like the series is badly written in any way. The series is really, really good. It's just, with all these good characters and with all these well-developed characters, I personally just did not like Haruka's, like, the way she was as a character. And now I'm coming around on that. Apart from that, just really, really good overall. The one thing I didn't really like was this one shot. Like, the more I think about it, the more I think it's not very good. Like, it's all right, but like, it didn't add anything to my enjoyment of the series. It was just like, it was something I didn't really need to see. And I don't like the idea of someone else only ever seeing this as like part of Until Your Bones Rots. I guess if it's like literally the only thing, then like it gets across the feel of like, there's a dead body and there's a bunch of kids. It's very the body / Stand By Me. I guess I'll just end it here. I've been really bad with like ending these reactions, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time for Volume 6. Bye for now. Nya nya.